Howdy! Welcome back to the Big Blue Workshop. It is Pinewood Derby season, so we're in here. I've got a bunch of the boys building their cars. We bought a new track and we had to build a crate for it. It's a best track 6-lane Pinewood Derby track. The trick to it is when you build the track, once you get the parts all assembled, it doesn't go back in the box, so you have to build crates for it. It weighs a lot, so I had to build 2 crates so that we didn't have this giant crate that weighed so much nobody could lift it. So if you've got to build one for your group, take a look, see if you can pick up any tips or tricks, and come back and see us for other cool ideas. If you like this one, click like, click subscribe, and come on back and see other stuff. Have fun and see what you think. This is just a stock picture of a best track, Pinewood Derby track. When you get it assembled, 6 lanes is 21 inches wide and 7 feet long. So you have to split that into 2 stacks and make 2 crates. It took 2 bundles of 1x3s and 4 sheets of plywood to build these 2 crates. I put my plywood on a couple of sawhorses, propped it up with some of my extra lumber, put my fence on, and laid it out. Now you can see where I actually nicked the plywood the first time just to make sure I had my fence on correctly, and you'll notice on this next picture that I didn't, and I had to make an adjustment, and there's the corrected adjustment. I went ahead and made my clean cut, and you can see I'm pretty proud of those cuts. You can see where I split the V's right down the middle. I trimmed up the long sections with a table saw and then made my cross cuts with my miter saw. I laid them all out on the table, and yes, I glued every joint. I put them on my assembly table, and I started with the nail gun. I just pinned them to get them all lined up, and then I came back with a drill and countersank a bunch of the holes and assembled it with 1¼ inch deck screws.
It took one look and now you stare at me the same. It took one look but you play me like a game.
Once everything was glued up and assembled, I went back and trimmed it with 1x3s. All the corners are mitered. I know it's not necessary, but it sure does look a lot better. This really adds some strength to the crate, and it makes it look better, but it also gives it some bumpers, some skid plates, because these things are going to be pulled in and out of pickup trucks and trailers for the rest of their life. I really wanted to take extra care to do this right, since this is going to live with this track for the rest of its existence. In order to get the tops framed out equally, I actually laid the frame on top of the unit open and assembled the frame so that it was even with the edges, and then I came back and drew even lines around the edge of the frame so I could lay the plywood in, and it would sit evenly down in the crate itself. Some of these cheap 1x3s were a little bit bowed, so I had to actually put clamps on them and pull them in tight so that I could have a nice even spacing. Once I got the entire crate trimmed out, I went back and put spacers on the inside of the crate to give some separation between the edges of the track and the crate itself. I decided to put 4½ inch wide handles in the crate. I started by using an 1 3/8 spade bit to drill 2 holes, and then I joined the holes with a jigsaw. This was the easier way to do it, since trying to mount handles to it might actually break off because the crates are so heavy. Once I got the holes cut out with a jigsaw, I came back with a cordless router and eased over all the edges with a 1/2 inch round over bit. In the first crate, I layered cardboard and track and cardboard and track, and it all went in there, and it stacks up just short of the handles, so it's easier to carry. The second crate has the bent pieces in it, and I decided to put a tray in there to hold all the electronics. It ended up working out pretty cool. Notice I made the tray just short of the handles so your hand doesn't hit it when you're carrying the crate. These crates will eventually live in a storage room run by the Indian guides, but for now they're sitting in my garage, and I had to fold up my lawnmower just to get them all to fit in there. So if you got to build some crates for a Pinewood Derby track, hopefully this gives you some tips. If you liked it, subscribe, click like, come back and see some more cool stuff. Have a great day.